So hey, my name is Simon. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in the UK. I've been working as a full-time photographer for the last 2.5 years. And I do a range of things from weddings to commercial to kind of travel projects. And for that kind of work, I use a Sony a7 IV. But over the last sort of 2.5 years working full-time as a photographer, I've really begun to stop taking photos for myself, which is a real shame because that's actually the main reason why I got into photography, was to document the fun adventures I was going on or to take pictures of my friends and family. And picking up my Sonys now is big, for fun or to take photos of my friends and family has kind of become a bit of a rare occurrence, which is a real shame. So this is where the Leica Q2 comes in for me. I really wanted to change that habit this year and to really to start picking up my camera to document the things that are important to me. So I wanted something small, compact and versatile that I can just hang around my neck, go for a walk, take pictures of my friends, if we're going out for coffee in Edinburgh, or take photos of my girlfriend if we're on holiday or something, or take photos of my friends and family if I'm going down to visit them. I wanted something small, versatile and kind of a bit disarming. Nothing, I don't want to be sticking a huge camera in my friends' faces. I just want something small and casual, be yeah, right, let's take a quick photo. That's kind of my intentions behind getting this camera. So over the past few years of working as a professional photographer, I'm always kind of photographing the things that are important to other people. And don't get me wrong, that's super rewarding. It's so nice to be able to photograph weddings when it's all these loved ones, all these families kind of getting together for an amazing day, and it's often the happiest day in people's lives. And that's super rewarding to be able to photograph that. But for me, it was starting to become a bit of a trade-off. I would pick up my camera for work to document someone else's family and someone else's partner. But I wouldn't pick it up to do the same for myself, which was kind of sad, to be honest. So that's really why I wanted to get a camera just for me and just for my friends and family. So I guess you could say, Simon, you've got two A7 IVs, why don't you just pick those up and just use them as a camera to photograph your friends and family? The thing is, when I get that camera out of the bag, I immediately slip into work mode, and I'm thinking, all right, what's the best way I can capture this scene? Where should I position someone to be in the best light? What lens should I put on? Oh, I should have picked that lens up, but I've left it at the Airbnb. I'm annoyed now. Or, oh, this SD card's got jobs from last week's wedding on. I don't want to damage it or lose it or anything like that. Or the other SD cards I've got spare for tomorrow's job and they're clean and ready to go. And it's difficult, blurring the lines between a work tool and something you use for fun. And so I bought this camera. It's a fixed lens. It's 28mm 1.7, which is, I think, pretty perfect actually for sort of travel adventure photography and for everyday life. It's wide enough that you're not going to feel stuck, that you need to move really far back, but equally it's a nice focal length that kind of feels quite natural, and you can get quite nice portraits and stuff with it as well. And so yeah, so the lens question, there's no question, it's fixed, there's no choice. But the benefit of this camera in particular is that it has a really big sensor. I think it's 47 megapixels, correct me if I'm wrong. And it has this mode on the camera where you can go into crop mode. So it simulates a 35mm, a 50mm and a 70mm crop. And that can get baked into the RAW or the DNG in this camera. And then when you load it into Lightroom, the crop is already there, ready for you. So you've sort of framed up your shot already, which is nice. So sometimes if something's a bit further away, but I'd quite like to get a tighter shot of it, just put it into 50mm mode, take a picture. And obviously it's not the same as having a 50 1.4 or something like that, because you're really just cropping in on a 28mm shot, but it does the job, and the quality is really good. I'm really impressed. Having used the A7R III for a long period of time, and now using the Sony a7 IVs, I'm so impressed with this. How small it is. And it's full frame, 28mm, and makes amazing photos. Obviously there is a slight trade-off in the fact that the autofocus is not incredible. Like it's definitely not as snappy as any of the sort of modern day mirrorless cameras, but it's great. Like it's super nice, and the manual focus is better than anything I've used before. I mean, I've never used a Leica system before, so this is a first for me. But yeah, it's an absolute joy to use, and I'm super pleased with it. So in terms of workflow with this camera, I've just put in like one big memory card, and I'll just take it off and dump off the photos like as and when I feel like editing some photos. Like I'm not gonna have like any hard and fast rules with this. This is now like a completely separate system to my commercial photography. So it's really just to pick up, take photos and have fun with, which I'm super excited about, because that is the exact reason like why I got into photography in the first place. This is a powerful tool. Like to be able to document the life of your friends and family is like a really lovely thing to be able to do, and yeah, something I've been neglecting, and I'm super excited to change that this year. So yeah, that's a bit of an explanation as to why I bought the Leica Q2. So I'm going to share a little collection of photos that I've taken the past 2 weeks of owning this camera. I hope you enjoy them, and if you'd like to see more videos from me, like yeah, I would love for you to subscribe and comment some ideas as what kind of videos you'd like to see, whether it's about wedding photography, like working as a full-time photographer, or more stuff about the Leica Q2, like yeah, whatever you're interested in, let me know.